Yeah, you're good.
Whenever you want it stopped. I'm just going to sit and read my book, so I'll click stop.
Okay. Perfect.
Maybe I'll learn a little something reading that.
There you go. Where's the black marker go?
Yeah, Ron.
Oh, right here.
What'd you get your girlfriend?
Hello. Aiden, stop looking at it.
It's so weird though.
Just ignore it. Just ignore it. It's just going to be for my eyes. I have to do an assignment. I just have to do an assignment where I record myself teaching. Thank you. This is all on camera. I appreciate it.
Oh, that one like it follows you?
It follows me, yes.
How does it follow you? Did it follow me?
Yeah, I'm going to let them know. All right. I can't wait to watch this video back.
Why can't it follow me?
I'm going to leave it in there. I'm going to be like, using my lovely stuff.
Can I have this thing?
No, I'm recording my teaching. Take a seat.
Can I teach? I'd be good at it.
You want to teach?
Yeah.
Sure, go for it.
Oh, dude.
Okay, it's all right, you guys.
Okay.
Chill.
Go in.
No, she's not in me. All right, so before I get started, I want to let you guys know I am recording myself teach because for my college assignment, I have to just analyze my teaching, okay? So the video camera is up there in the back. Just have a normal class, okay? So we're going to start with an estimation warm-up. Ready? I'm going to put the 4 clues up here on the board. Okay? Similar to last time, I'm going to give you time to work with your groups, figure out your guess, okay? And then I'm going to ask each group for their group's guess. This first clue I want to talk about really quickly. So it says only one of the 2 digits from the answer can be seen on the face of a die. What numbers show up on a die? 1 through 6, right? So that means only one digit of the answer is between 1 and 6. The other digit is outside of that range. Okay. Give you a couple minutes, work in your groups. I'll be around to circulate and see if you guys have questions.
Okay. The answer is a odd number. So the first 1, 5. The last number the side is 3 and the top is 5. 7 is odd number and is it odd? So it's one is the last. So it has 1.
So it'd be 3. So it'd have to have 1. 7. So it'd have to have 1. 9.
So 9.
Oh, that's one big one.
I don't think it's a 9.
What do we think?
15.
You think 15?
That's just a guess. But
Well, look at clue number 1. Does 15 work with clue number 1?
yeah.
It doesn't work,
So
right?
it has to be like 7.
Yep. What are we thinking here?
Something with a 5.
Something with a 5?
Yeah.
But it says, look at the yellow die, and one of those numbers is a digit in the answer. And you can see a 3 and you can see a 5.
What?
The yellow die is like... So the yellow die, the numbers that you can see on this yellow die right here is a 3 and a 5. Okay? That's going to help you with clue 3. Is it a 6?
Yeah, that's a 5.
There's a 5 there and a 6 there. 3, 5, and 6. There's a 5 and there's a 6. And there's a 3. Okay. I'm going to give you like a minute and 10 seconds, and then I'm asking each group for their guess. So have it ready.
I don't know.
What are you going to guess?
What number are you supposed to find?
You're supposed to be guessing how many die you think is in that jar.
Oh.
You've done these before.
Wow.
Yes, Davis. Sit up.
Oh,
okay. Tired?
Can't be 9. Yeah,
Can't have a
3, can't have a 5 and
Very.
Okay, well,
So it really can only, the end is 5 or 7. No, it's 5 or 6.
Wait, does it have to be a number 1 through 6? Does that have to be both the digits?
one of the digits, right? Because that's the first one.
41.
All right.
47.
Okay. Right now, the only thing you should be talking about with your group is what your group's guess is. I'm going to give you 15 seconds to do that, and then I'm going to take your guesses. 15 seconds. Decide your table's guess. You guys got a guess here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think there's more than 17 in that?
All right. Remember, it's okay. These are just estimation problems. They're just little warm-up problems that are fun. Okay. We're going to go around the classroom. I'm just going to go in the order we usually go. So I'm going to start here. Lane, or Addie, whoever at the table.
17.
19. What? 17 or 19?
Yeah, 17.
Okay. So you got 2 guesses. That's all right. All right, everybody here? This table right here? What do you think, Zach? What do you think? 41. This table? What do you think?
71.
71?
Okay, what? What's it
That's all right. That's all right. Caden and Maddie? What? 71 too. Okay. Back middle table. What are we thinking? 41.
How do you think?
This last table?
71.
You don't know?
It's not 70.
Okay, that's fine.
4 on the face of a die.
All right, I know we're passionate about these estimation problems. We love these estimation problems.
Both of them can be.
Okay, side conversation should be over. Here's the deal. These are fun. Yeah, they're fun. Okay, but we're not going to be able to do them if the conversation's going to keep going. Are you ready to see the answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's 47.
No
one was right. Which is good and bad. Good because that means none of my other classes are sharing the answer. But it's okay. Some of these would work. This wouldn't work because you could see both these numbers on the die, right? This would work. This would work, okay, just by the clues. So it was just an estimation problem. Ready to move on? So shortly we're going to be taking our CFA on proportions, okay, and that's what we've been working on for the last couple of days. But before we move into that, we are going to do a couple warm-up problems together just to get us ready. So I have 2 problems for you, okay? We've been working with these. You may use any strategy you want, but you need to solve for the missing value and do both problems on your paper. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to work individually on that. Go ahead and get started.
Look at this.
So everyone should have paper, pencil, calculator. Good. You have paper, Maddie? Pull it out, please.
Couldn't figure it out. Does this work? Like, can you write it out like that? Because it's still showing.
Yeah, that works for me. The only problem I have with that is 16 times 18 isn't equal to 288 divided by 8. So you have kind of like in English when you have a run-on sentence. This is kind of like a run-on sentence in math. Okay? So you could have 16 times 18 equals 288, and then our next sentence would be 288 divided by 8 is 36. Do you see the difference there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. As long as it's not like the run-on sentences like I talked about. If you break it into 2, it works for me. Yes. So show that to Brayden. Brayden, Kate has what I would want. Okay. I'll get you one, Kaden. I lied. You can use your computer from there. So you should be working on both problems. What'd you get?
So B is 36 and then K is 13.
I want you to check this again. I agree with the D, but check that K again. What? Okay, so if you plug in 13 for K, you're going to do... But then that needs to equal what? 18, right? 13 minus 5 doesn't equal
Yeah, but you
18.
have to minus by 5.
But you need to do the opposite because you need that k minus 5 to be 18. So you need a number that you can take away 5 to give you 18.
So you just need to find a number to take away from that. So 23.
Yes.
So a mechanism
Alright, let's talk about the first one to get a place to start before we go to the second one. So everyone up here, conversation's over? Good. So, somebody tell me how they went about solving that for B and then what they got for B. Tristan, how did you go about it?
I did the butterfly method.
Okay, cross multiplication.
Yeah.
So you did this.
Yeah.
And you said something along those lines?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is 288. Good. And if we want to get B by itself, we're just going to divide by 8 to get our 36. Did anybody use a different method? No. You guys all used cross multiplication. Kaden, what did you do? Yep, so Kaden did the cross multiplication method, but maybe didn't write it out explicitly like we did here. Another way that I want to talk about is, could have noticed right here, we're multiplying by 2.25. So up here, we need to multiply by 2.25. Okay, another way, so many ways to do these. Another way, could have simplified this to 2 to 1, 2, which means that this would need to be simplified to 2.
No.
So we know that our top number needs to be twice 18, so that would be 36. So lots of ways to go about solving that. Any questions before we move on to the next one? Okay. This next one, somebody have an answer and wants to share how they solved it? Lots of hands. Brayden, tell me how you did it.
Well, I got 23.
Okay, so you got k is equal to 23. How did you figure that out?
I did 972.
Okay.
And then I did 72 divided by 4 is 18. And I did 18 plus 5.
Good. So this 18, we know that our bottom number here, our k minus 5, that is what has to be 18. So we need to figure out a number that we can subtract 5 from to get 18. If you want to find a number that you can subtract 5 from to get 18, you just need to add 5 to 18. And that's how you get k is 23. A lot of us, as I was walking around, had the answer k equal to 13. And I understand where you're coming from. You think that, okay, you figured out that it was 18, so now you need to subtract 5. But the problem is our k value, this whole thing has to give us the value of 18. So we need a number in here that we subtract 5 from to give us 18. So that's going to be 23. What questions do you have? I see some light bulbs. We good? Okay. So today on the CFA, you're going to have problems like this, okay, with just the 1. You're not going to have a problem like this. But this is something that we're working towards. We want to get here. These are problems we want to be able to solve.
Okay. So there's not going to be any of those problems?
There's not a problem like this, but there's a problem like that.
Oh.
Okay, so 2 more problems before I give you the CFA. This one, we're talking about train tickets, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, you need to set up equivalent ratios to solve these problems. So I want you to read through the first problem and set up your equivalent ratios and then solve for that missing value, okay? After you get that missing value, that's where you're going to move into the second problem. So take time, work on it. Ask your group mates if you have questions. I'll be around also. read it. What are we given? We're given a ratio, right?
Yeah, 3 to 5.
Okay. Good. So then you need to make a second ratio. How'd you get 9? Or is that A?
That's 9.
How'd you get 9?
Because 9 is equivalent to 3, and then 9 times 5 equals.
Yeah, but 5 times 3 doesn't give you 45. Think about that. Yes, Brayden.
I can get it done by just word problems, but I don't really understand it with the ratios. How do you get it with the ratio?
Okay, so I'm gonna bring it. Okay, everybody up here. I'll come back if I don't address your question. So I'm gonna get you started on this one because I see we're struggling. So let's think about this. We are given that the ratio of a child ticket to an adult ticket is 3 to 5. Right there, we are given a ratio. I'm going to write it as a fraction. 3 to 5. This is the price of my child ticket, right? This is how much I'm going to pay for a child ticket. This is the price of my adult ticket. So when I go to set up my next one, I need to keep that straight. Adult on the bottom, child on the top. So we're given that the price of an adult ticket is $45. That's going to be my bottom. This is what I'm solving for. I'm looking for how much a child ticket is going to cost. Addie, do you have a question?
Oh, no, I got it.
Okay, I'm going to give people work time, okay, now that I have this set up for you. So you need to solve this one. Then you need to use your information that you find to solve the second problem. I'll give you a couple more minutes to do that. Keep working. Did I answer your question?
I was going to ask if that was correct.
Well, there you go. It was. I'm glad I taught you something.
So is the right answer 27?
Yes. What do we get here? Looks good. Looks good. Everybody's got both problems solved. Tristan got one too.
Oh.
Second one. Yeah, take.
So is it bad to set it up that way? Like, do you have to set it up that way? Because I set it up that way and still got the same thing.
Nope. So you can, as long as you keep them straight like that, that works. So you have, this is child, adult, child, adult. It works both ways. Yep. All right. Somebody take me through how they figured out how much a child ticket costs. Addie.
I know that to get to 35, you have to multiply 5 by 9.
Good. Right here.
And whatever you do on, you do the top.
Yep.
So then I just multiply that.
So you multiplied 3 by 9 to get $27. That's the way I did it because that's the first thing I saw. Okay, nice even numbers. However, if you did the cross multiplication method, you would still get to the same $27. Okay? So whatever method you used is fine. So from here, if a child ticket costs $27 and an adult ticket costs $45, how much is 3 children tickets and 1 adult ticket going to cost? Kate? $126. How did you get there?
So I did 27 times 3.
Okay.
And I got 81. And then I just added 45.
Good. And if you do that, you get $126. Do we have questions over this? Everybody good? One more, then I'm going to set you on your CFA. Talking about Mrs. Grown, and Mrs. Grown likes to run a lot. Okay? So we're going to talk about her running a marathon. Do you guys know how many miles are in a marathon? 26.2. It's the 0.2 that gets you. So there's 26.2 miles in a marathon. You need to read the first problem, set up equivalent ratios again, solve that, and then use that to solve the second problem. I'll give you time to work. Get started. Very similar to what we just did. go ahead and set this up. Look at the information we're given. Just set it up. Okay, the side chatter over here, it has to stop.
Wait, so I did it right. Darn it. No, I just erased it.
I'm okay if you're talking about math, but then if you're in other conversations, no.
What is it? This one I divided by 60 to get the actual hours.
So when you're doing this problem also, when you start to move to the second problem, you need to think about the labels, okay? So when you find out how long it's going to take Mrs. Grown to run that marathon, what is our unit there? Is it going to be hours? Is it going to be minutes? Is it going to be seconds? Okay? Make sure you're thinking about the label. From there, you'll have to convert it in order to solve that second problem. You'll have to convert to hours. Yes, Lee.
No calculator.
I'm fresh out of calculators, but you can use your Chrome calculator. So is this what you got for your answer? No? What's your answer?
I'm still.
Slow running. Okay. So this is where the label is important.
Yeah, is that how you? I don't know how you write it. Do you?
Well, this is all the right numbers. So you ended up getting like 230.
2 hours and 30 minutes and 56
So
seconds.
that's where we need to think about our labels. We're talking about minutes in this problem. So when you got this answer, this 230.56, that's minutes. 230 minutes.
Oh, okay.
What? Don't you understand, Izzy? Let's see. Let's set up.
So I divided it and got this. Then I kind of.
When you say divided it, what's it?
22 divided by 2.5.
Okay. I want you to set up your equivalent ratios. So you would have 2.5 over 22 is equal to 26.2 over x. Good. And we know those are equivalent, so you can put an equal sign between them. Now I want you to solve for x.
First up, I don't know your name, so.
Miss Thompson.
Okay. What would the 0.8 be?
So that's like 0.8 hours. So what I do is I find out how many minutes are in 3 hours, which is 180.
Oh,
And I
okay.
subtract that from 230 to find out that there's a remainder of 50 minutes.
So it would be 3 hours and 50 minutes?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm so lost.
So lost.
I'm on the second problem.
So what did you get? Yep. Divided by 60, so you get 3.84 hours. Okay? So you have 3 complete hours. How many minutes are in 3 hours?
Well, that's 60 times 6 times 3.
It's 180.
180.
Okay? So if you take your 230 minutes and subtract 180 minutes, that's going to give you how many minutes this 0.84 hours is. Okay. I'm going to talk to Addie and then we're good. Looks good, yep. So somebody help me out. How did you set up these equivalent ratios? Somebody I haven't heard from. Molly, do you have it set up?
I did.
How did you do it?
I did 2.5 over 22. And then I did 26.2 over x.
Good. So Molly stayed consistent. Her distance is on the top, the 2.5 miles and the 26.2 miles. And then the time is on the bottom. The time in minutes, right? This is 22 minutes. I used the cross multiplication method to solve this because I didn't recognize anything super nice and even that would work really well. So if you do this, you should get to the answer 230.556. This is in minutes, right? You needed to convert this to hours and then add it on to the 6 a.m. start time. So if we're converting this to hours, how many minutes are in an hour?
60.
So what's your first step? Divide by 60. If you do that, you get the decimal 3.84 something, right?
Yeah.
That does not stand for 3 hours and 84 minutes, right? Does everybody see why it doesn't stand for 3 hours and 84 minutes? It stands for 3 hours and 84 hundredths of the next hour. So the way I go about this situation is I think, okay, I have 3 complete hours, and I know there's 180 minutes and 3 complete hours. If I subtract 180 from my 230, I get a difference of 50 minutes. So I know it's going to take Mrs. Groen 3 hours and 50 minutes to run the marathon, which is a really good marathon time, if you guys didn't know that. It's a really good marathon time. So if she starts at 6 a.m., takes her this long, what time is she going to be finished? 9:50 a.m.
56
And what?
56.
Well, this is 0.56 of another minute, so it would be like 30, a little bit over 30 seconds. Questions over this? Okay, so here's what's going to happen now. I'm going to hand out the CFAs. These story problems, these are not on the CFA today. It's just setting up proportions, not even setting up proportions, just solving proportions, and there's a table problem. One quick thing, it's important. This first question, it's asking you to write the ratios in all 3 ways, okay? There's 3 different ratios that you're going to have to write. That means I should see a total of 9 ways written here, okay? Once you are finished with this, turn it into me, and I'm going to have a challenge problem up on the board. You need to complete the challenge problem, and then you can have a quiet study hall after that. If you have questions, I'll be around to answer them.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so CFAs are being passed out. We should not be talking. Look at that. I have the perfect amount.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You're probably good to stop it now. Hopefully that's 20 minutes. Very close. I can look at it. I hope it's close. No. You need to take your seat back.